there you have it, your APTA National Champions.
Best match of the year.
Brilliant shot.
Incredible stuff. And it's sitting up and he's right there.
Hello and welcome to the APTA Tour. We are live from the Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois, bringing you the 2023 APTA Chicago Nationals, which is the 13th and last stop on the 2022-23 APTA Tour, presented by Remedy Plus and sponsored by the APTA membership, the APTA national sponsors, Paddle Pro Infusion, and local sponsors, Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, Wintrust, and Viking. I'm Patty Hogan along with Jerry Viant, bringing you the women's finals between number 2 seeded team Roxy Anika and Gabby Nicolescu up against our number 3 seeded team of Lynn Kiro, Macy Medeiros. Welcome, Jerry. Can you tell us about the players we're going to be seeing?
Yes, thank you, Patty. So down the far end on the deuce side in the teal jacket, we've got Lynn Kiro, and she has been the head of women's paddle at the Montclair Golf Club since 2022, and she just got the director of rackets at the Roxitius Club in New Jersey. And then her partner in the black top in the ad side is Macy Medeiros. She's the director of rackets at the Rolling Hills Country Club in Wilton, Connecticut. And on the side closest to us in the red jacket on the left side is Gabby Nicolescu. She's the head professional at the Patterson Club in Wilton, Connecticut. And alongside of her, in the black jacket on the right, is Roxy Anika, and she's the director of rackets at the New Canaan Field Club in Connecticut.
Yeah, Jerry, let's take a look at the draw here. When this tournament started, Jerry, there were, everyone was talking in the women's game how phenomenal it is, the depth, and that there were possibly 3 or 4 women's teams who could earn a spot here in the finals. And these two teams made their way through. Hanish Sabori, our wonderful two-time defending national champs, lost in the semifinals earlier to Kiro Medeiros. And on the other side, Anika Nicolescu got through, taking out Morgan and Sikora. Morgan and Sikora had a great run in this tournament. And Jerry, the two teams who are the hottest in the women's game since the start of the new year are here in the finals. This is so exciting. And I think we're going to be finding our breath during this match, Jerry. I think it's going to be a phenomenal matchup.
There we still our Hall of Fame at Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, there's
on
two
the
Hall of
screen there.
Famers, Alan Graham and Bill O'Brien. But Jerry, these two teams have played twice this year.
Yep, I said. Patty, let's set the stage for this women's final. So head-to-head, Anika Nicolescu are up 2-1. So the first...
So these two teams have played most recently in Short Hills, where Kiro Medeiros won the finals, won the matchup. They beat Shea Sutter along the way. They also beat Morgan Sikora. These two teams... it seems like Cruz and, Nicolescu and Anika they started off this year just with a wonderful performance and won that Montclair, the event to open up the season. And I just feel like they are peaking at the right time. And coincidentally, Kiro and Medeiros have teamed up here and they're peaking at the right time. So I think it's so amazing to have two of the top teams peaking at the right time of year. This match is 2 out of 3 regular scoring. Rob Laboon's up in the umpire chair once again, doing a great job. Handles all the umpiring for the Midwest region. Players are just finishing up, taking their practice serves. Wonderful environment here at the Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois. I mean, this is a community that just loves paddle, and they love great paddle, and the place is just packed, and it's a buzz for this matchup that's going to be incredible.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2023 APTA Ladies Finals here at the Glenview Club. Today's match will be the best of 3 sets. If it does go to a third set, the third set is played out. There is no tiebreaker. On my right, from New Canaan, Connecticut, Roxy Enica, and her partner from Norwalk, Connecticut, Gabriella Nicolescu. On my left, from Bloomfield, New Jersey, Lynn Hero, and her partner from Fairfield, Connecticut, Macy Medeiros. Hero and Medeiros have won the toss and have elected to receive.
So there's so much firepower out here with these top women players. And, you know, is this going to be the day that Roxy Nika, she's been in the finals in Women's Nationals twice, hasn't been able to snag that first national title in women's play. She's won 3 in mixed play with Juana Raya. They also were finalists in another mixed event.
1 minute, ladies.
Gabby Nicolescu is a national champion. She's a national champion already several times over. And, of course, Macy Medeiros had that great run back in Darien in 2020. With Marcela Redesno, and you know, in the women's game we see a lot of shifting around of partners. Things happen, life changes, kids have babies, and they mix up their partnerships. And this is just going to be so exciting here. And we'll see if tonight's the night for Roxy. Players are just settling in. Obviously, this is it. They started the season in anticipation of March Nationals in Chicago. And speaking of March Nationals in Chicago, just a wonderful job once again by the entire committee out here, led by John Noble. I mean, just so many volunteers. I think they have about over 50 volunteers who come out and do every small thing that makes a huge difference for all the, you know, the fans. The paddle fans are just so welcoming and making it just so comfortable for all the fans and players out here, just loving the action. We anticipate we're going to get going here. We hope we don't get bad weather before we get too deep in this match, because we would hate for that to be a factor out here, but who knows? It's paddle, it's a winter sport. You play out there under all circumstances. It doesn't matter, all the women are prepared for it. Looks like Roxy and Nika will start the match off serving. Nicolescu and Nika on the same page. Really good to see when they are on the same page as a team. Almost unbeatable.
Enica to serve. Players ready? Play.
All right, here we go, Patty.
Love.
So Jerry, you know, is Lynn Kiro. Here she is really in her second year of competition. You know, just phenomenal talent out here, teaming up with Macy Medeiros. Macy is, I think, a mastermind on the paddle court. I think she's super cerebral as a player. She understands the game. She understands how to change tactics, strategies. I just think she understands all the small little parts of the game, and you know, she's just partnered up with Lynn Kiro here, and just a phenomenal team. So fun to watch.
Yeah, I love the way her game has evolved now that she's switched over to the ad side. And I think Kiro is the factor. You know, she's going to be tested by Anika and Nicolescu, and she's going to be tested by the occasion and herself. So she can't back down in the big moments, and she's proven that she's arrived quickly, and she's playing at a really high level of play, and it's fun to see because this new team has pushed other teams. So.
Yeah, and you know, Jerry, when we talk about paddle, I don't care, men's, women's, whatever, when it gets deep in the draw, it comes down to, I do think it comes down to, you know, volley errors, and I just think that Anika Nicolescu, like, they're going to really have to form that wall at the net to defend, because when the firepower comes from Medeiros and Kiro, they're going to have to be able to defend it, and Medeiros and Kiro, I think, defend against Nicolescu and Anika's game and their explosiveness really well as anybody in the game.
Yeah, Anika and Nicolescu have solidified their positioning and partnership as the season has gone along. You know, in the beginning, they both wanted the ball and were kind of jumping in front of each other and calling for the same shots. But we saw, you know, Boston, then we saw Short Hills, where they really came together. It was very clear on what their roles are. But, you know, they have interchangeable roles here. You know, both players can play the ad side. Both players can hit the spin overheads, can be on the left. So it'll be interesting to see once everybody settles down and we get into this match, what kind of tactics.
Yeah, and to your point, Jerry, you know, the teamwork, you know it as well as anybody in the game, how critical it is to walk out here to start this finals of nationals, and you just have to be totally in sync mentally. You know, the physical will take care of it. It's a long day here. You know, it's a long weekend. The pressure builds all throughout the season, but, you know, this is what they've prepared for all year.
Yeah. And good paddle weather conditions, Patty.
Jerry, it is beautiful here. I hope it's beautiful in Australia, but, you know, in Chicago we had a good cloud cover all day long, good conditions, no wind, and we're just hoping we don't get a little wintry mix, you know, coming up here.
Yeah, that kind of temperature is really great to put that extra bite on the ball.
Yeah, and all these players can bring that offense, so I think the lower the temperatures, I think all of them actually like that, Jerry.
Yeah.
Big thing coming into the season would be, you know, when Medeiros teamed up with Kiro. You know, Kiro kind of a newbie out there, a little inexperienced last season, kind of, you know, could get broken down a little bit with her screenplay, Jerry, but this year she has just gone to a whole nother level, and, you know, can't go after her over there. Her athleticism and her hands just make for a lethal combination now. She's just a wonderful deuce court player.
Yeah. Yeah, Nicolescu looking to move forward, put pressure on that first volley from Kiro.
$15.40.
Kiro just has a huge serve. Can get into a little bit of trouble every now and then, but
well, she doesn't hit it with a lot of spin at this point, Jerry. You know, it's such a big windup, and I mean, we just don't see a serve like that in the women's game often.
Right.
I think this will be the interesting thing to see how Kiro handles those overheads. You know, Nicolescu and Anika, not known as like a precision lobbing team, Jerry, but I think their lobbing is a little bit underrated, and I think it's what really has helped them open up the court, and their offense has come so easily this season.
Yeah, I do like Anika on the deuce side. I mean, I know she can play the ad side as well, but I think she plays the deuce side, brings different looks, more different looks than when Nicolescu was on the deuce side. And there's that moving forward that we talked about before with Nicolescu. She's like a little freight train coming at you.
Nicolescu. Games are 1-1, first set.
Yeah, and Jerry, I just think the movement that Nicolescu has, and I think she's just quicker than Anika, so I just feel like she is so able to pounce any short ball, any middle ball. I think Nicolescu does a much better job of coming over and just crushing that forehand than what Anika can do. And Anika, we know, 3-time mixed nationals winner, playing in the deuce court. She's phenomenal over there, and she's embraced it now. They've got the partnership going, as you spoke of earlier, Jerry.
So that's Gabby Nicolescu on the left at net, where she really likes to be, hitting that roller. Caught the seam there.
15 love.
Oh, nice switch in the backcourt there.
Jerry, that's what's so amazing. These 4 women, put them any place on the court, and they're all dynamic.
Did you see that at all in the other semifinal?
I did not.
Yeah, that's a good look. That's an interesting move right there from Kiro and Medeiros.
Sure, I saw it a little bit at Short Hills, Jerry, and I think that Kiro as a competitor just has no fear, Jerry, and I don't think there's any moment that's too big for her. And I think that, if you're feeling it, your partner can get a sense of that and put you in a position where you can, get some more, just to be better positioned for more offensive opportunities. And I love the switch, and I think when baseline teams do switch, even though I know it's early in the match, Jerry, probably too early for you to think that it would be a good switch, I do think that it can upset a little bit of the tempo off of the team hitting the overheads. They kind of get settled in and are used to a little bit of a different look. And all of a sudden, that look changes. So I love changing that look once or twice early, just to keep them honest. And
but I think it was more, it wasn't like a long, point where they were throwing up high lobs and then they had time to switch. It was off of a hard side back overhead that would have pulled Medeiros all the way over into Kiro's side. And so what it tells me is that they are in this right now, thinking about what they have to do and can execute, which is impressive for their first final as a team and early stages. We haven't even gotten into the third game. So they made that switch because of court positioning. It just balanced, and it was an even. Now they've got their team set and balanced. So that was very impressive.
Jerry will be interested as the match goes on if Nicolescu kind of gets that itch and gets herself on the left side at the net. We see that a lot, like right there. That could have been Anika's ball, but Nicolescu backed up and took it. And I just know she loves to be in that position on the left of the 2 players at the net. She hits that heavy roller, and Anika actually does have more variety on her overheads than Nicolescu does.
Putting a fair amount of balls into Medeiros' side.
Because I think Macy Medeiros as an opponent is known, Jerry. They know if they hit the ball there, they know what's going to come back. I think Kiro is still a little bit of an unknown, and it does create more uncertainty going over into that deuce side.
Right. It's also tougher playing the ball out of that deuce side, but we've seen like testing the screenplay, but clearly, as I had seen in Short Hills, it wasn't going to take Lynn Kiro too much time on the practice court to really get a handle on different spins and different looks.
Yeah, no, and her court coverage, Jerry. I mean, she's a tall woman.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall, but she's got that athleticism, you know, and really, I think her footwork has improved remarkably over the course of the season, and we know you need great footwork to be a great screen player.
Fleet of foot, Patty.
Oh, yeah.
Fleet of foot.
Jerry, great action all day at the Glenview Club. You know this club really well, and just spectacular surround for the Nationals. They got that tent, Jerry.
Job.
Yeah, can you smell the barbecue in Australia?
Yes, great detail about the barbecue in the previous match. I heard all about it. I hope those guys finally got something to eat.
Yeah, well, we gave them a couple M&Ms and some almonds after that, Jerry.
Oh, it's very kind of you.
You wearing anything underneath?
Shout out to the Arthurs. Join the action from Richmond. Macy Medeiros to serve. Ron Laboon and I sound exactly alike at times, Jerry.
Oh, you do?
Well, we just were thinking the same thing.
That's Lynn Kiro on the left in the all black, hitting overheads.
Jerry, we're at that time of year where you have to spring ahead. Got to set our clocks. We have early round action
Yes.
tomorrow, 9 o'clock, men's semifinal action.
So happy to hear that spring ahead. It's just too much pace off of that back screen. Just Anika clearly energized by having the opportunity to crack that forehand coming forward. Kiro's going to have to watch that roller into that side.
Six shot, come on.
Oh, wow, that was huge.
What a beautiful mishit winner.
Love 30.
That was huge. Nicolescu just loads up her legs on that forehand.
And Jerry, this is what I've seen since going into Short Hills
40.
and the focus that Anika and Nicolescu have. They are just on that unified front at all times, and you can see the play of Anika, who I thought would be so, she would be the critical person in this final match, and she has showed up big time to play here. What a great start for Anika Nicolescu.
Oh!
Game, Anika Nicolescu.
Again, Nicolescu just continuing to move forward. Medeiros just couldn't get out of the way or get her backhand volley up ready.
So this is going to be the interesting part of the match. I just thought that of anybody in this draw, I thought that Medeiros and Kiro defend the net, or could defend the net as well as anyone, as well as Zabor and Hanish possibly as well. But they're going to have to be on top of the net, and I've seen them. They're going to have to play as aggressive volleyers, because I just think if they play a little bit off the net, that's going to allow Nicolescu and Nika to get those rollers going that are dipping, and then that's going to set up the blitz, and that's where Nicolescu is just lethal in those circumstances. You can see a lot of the focus, Jerry, continues to be over toward that ad-court corner to Macy Medeiros, and it's going to be interesting. You know, I like that she went and swung on her forehand there. I think she's got to take some offensive shots a little bit more than she wants to in this match.
I mean, that was like in a nutshell the plays that we've seen out of these two teams. So Kiro Medeiros has really dialed in on hitting that lob between the two players and getting the player on the left to kind of go behind. And Medeiros gets that short ball and drives it, and then Kiro is coming into the net. That's a great move by Medeiros right there.
18 all.
Great shot.
And one of Anika Nicolescu's favorite plays is to just thump that roller into the deuce side that Gabby Nicolescu has, and then Anika closes the net looking for the volley.
See, that's
She
the
aims
thing.
that ball a little bit higher up at Nicolescu's left armpit, and she got the reaching error. And I think that's what Medeiros has got to do. She's got to pick different spots when she takes that drive.
I totally agree, Jaron. I think that's what separates the great players in this game. You know, they're all going to get those offensive looks, and I just think that pinpoint, you know, they've got to pick those drives and really find the weaker spot from a phenomenal volleying team. There aren't that many, but there are those spots available. You hit those spots, you might even get an error, or at least you'll get another short ball, another ball that you can crush another ground stroke with. Jerry, holy cow.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
it's like, hello.
Is this phenomenal?
She's got it. Like a little matrix move there. So this is where the hours of court drilling benefit. You don't just routinely pick up shots like that off the screen without a lot of court time practice.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. What a point. I'd love to see some highlight replays off of that. It was a bunch of really athletic moves. And just Medeiros came down, just overhit that ball too hard off, you know, gave them the chance off the back screen. And that's, you know, I always say fast feet, slow hands, but you get so caught up, you know, it's so exciting.
You get sucked into the vortex, the adrenaline just goes, and it's so hard to not play into that adrenaline.
Yep.
Jerry, you heard the fan club over there. We've got a new Canaan Field Club here. The Anika traveling fan club, just phenomenal throughout the course of the season. They were in Boston. They are out here in Chicago.
Oh, good. They made the trip. So that's the play. That's the play. And Anika was there, but point of contact where she had to go was higher. Her hands were low, looking for that low ball, and Kiro, whether it was intentional or not, placed that ball up a little higher, and that's enough to get the reaching error.
Jerry, I'd be curious as this match continues to go on. You can just see the pressure both teams apply off. They always look for that dipping return of serve and then the blitz move. And that's why, you know, this is just incredible exchanges so early in this match. High level play right out of the box, right to start this. Nicolescu is a three-time women's national champion. She's looking for her fourth title here. We talked about Roxy trying to win her.
Kiro Medeiros. Anika Nicolescu lead 3-2. First set.
And Patty, it's time to talk about one of our sponsors. For over 20 years, Paddle Pro has been recognized as an industry leader in platform tennis. The knowledge, expert advice, vast inventory, and ultimate customer service will help any player find the perfect equipment to take their game to the next level. Paddle Pro is the only website to carry all platform tennis brands. For more information, go to www.paddlepro.com.
As I was saying, Anika has played in the finals of the Women's Nationals twice, Jerry. She was there in 2017 with Liz Cruz. They were defeated by Hanisch and Van Sterenberg in that match. And Roxy teamed up with Laura Barron, and they lost to Cruz and Annette Nicolescu in that match.
Love.
Jerry, we talk about matchups all the time. Anika and Nicolescu love to drive. Medeiros and Kiro love to volley. They don't back down. They just welcome this, and this is why this is so fun. It's each team's strength on display here. A phenomenally placed drive from Anika right there, right between the two players. A little bit of confusion. And that's the only thing that's I'm a little suspect on sometimes with Kira Medeiros. They tend to flip their paddle over. You don't always see them keep that wall of backhands when their opponent has that short drive. Jerry, it just feels like every point is so crucial out here. It's so early in this match, but you can just feel all four women dialed in and totally getting an understanding that every single point here is critical. So Anika lined that shot up. You knew she was going big. She got the leg cord winner. She'll take it.
Of overheads going into that Nicolescu corner. I think that's when Anika, when she's got the opportunity, when she sees a couple of balls in a row, she should test the teamwork there of Medeiros
30,
and
40.
Kiro out of that deuce side. Who's going to take that overhead when the lob goes up through the middle?
Game, Annika Nicolescu. They lead 4 games to 2, first set.
Jerry, do you remember when Nicolescu burst onto the scene and she played in the Nationals out here with Bobo Delaney? And I believe we live streamed a match, a round of 16s match. And I remember Nicolescu and Delaney lost that match, but I remember talking to Nicolescu after the match, and she was beaten many times over in the screens, and she just said, I'm just so frustrated with this game. And we were just encouraging her, hang in there, learn from Bobo, who Bobo played a game of never missing. And then we said to Nicolescu, look, if you don't miss those screens and you have all the offensive skills that you have, you could be one of the all-time greatest women's players in this game, and she has certainly risen there. But she had to embrace it,
You set her
Jerry.
on that path. You set her on that path to success. Good little pep talk.
We can blame Bobo.
15 love.
Jerry, I was a little curious going into this match, with Medeiros and Kiro having taken out two-time defending champs, Hannison Dabori, how they would come back and then adjust and then get in the mindset to be prepared to play, at a really high level here in the finals. And, I just think I'm waiting for them to kick it into a little bit of a higher gear here. I feel like Roxy, Anika, and Gabby Nicolescu are right there in that spot right now. I don't quite feel the exact same thing from Medeiros Kiro right now. Do you, Jerry?
Yeah, no, I don't see the clear game plan just yet.
Jerry, you have patience.
And
you hang in there. It will reveal itself, I'm sure.
Okay, good. Well, you know I like to see it. But you're right. It's always tough. I mean, that was a huge win that they've had in the semifinals, even though they have defeated them in the 2 tournaments prior. It's nationals, and that's a big win. And they only had an hour or two to process that and then get ready for this match. Yeah, they just Kiro and Medeiros just have to be careful when they chase that ball down that they don't give it so much pace.
Right, but it's so hard to resist the pace in that moment, Jerry.
Yeah. Anika Nicolescu will use that. Just calibrate it, get the transition.
15-30.
Jerry, this is just, you didn't see this before with Anika Nicolescu, where they are so in sync together, and you can just see that they're not only playing the big points better this year, I feel like they're playing the bigger points earlier in games much better, Jerry. They've just so tightened up and eliminated their unforced errors. And, they realize the importance of every single point, no matter, if it's the first or second point in the game. I feel like that's a huge difference in their game this year.
Yeah, I know, I agree. They're both explosive players, and they've really settled into their interchangeable roles. They've got multiple ways to disrupt the flow of the match, and both at net and the backcourt. And they can change sides, they can set up different looks. But they've really, the most critical thing, I think, is they've really gelled and come together as a team. And you see a lot more conversation between the plays. It's really been fun to watch them come together.
And Jerry, those high fives from Nicolescu when she's got it going. I always am in fear of Roxy's wrist.
There's a lot of enthusiasm. They kind of baited her into taking that ball off the deck there. Little bit of a floater with no pace deep. It's so tempting to step in and crack it, but
Yeah, Jerry, to
5-2, here Gabby,
to your
Gabby
point,
asking
Jerry.
for a new ball.
Yep, I just don't feel the game plan from the baseline of Medeiros and Kiro.
Right.
I feel like they're not working towards something, you know, to break down Anika Nicolescu here. Or if they're trying, Jerry, I just don't see it yet.
Can you see if they can get towels? Yeah. Thank you.
I believe there's a little precipitation out there starting.
Looks like a very nice crowd there at the Glenview Club.
Jerry, there are hundreds of people out here. You know, we've got the tent going in every direction. Just a beautiful setup. The Glenview Club has that paddle hut that's amazing, and it looks out to all the courts, you know, from the middle, and that place is packed. The volume in there, Jerry, by about 1 o'clock this afternoon, off the charts.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, that's a nice shot of the actual main clubhouse at the Glenview Club. See Medeiros taking a practice serve with the new ball. 2-5. First set. We're in the finals of the Women's Nationals in Chicago.
And Anika Nicolescu just, they don't need to force anything here. They're getting such good looks because of their high level of play, high percentage shots, and they can't get away from that right here. This is a big moment, you know, big confidence boost for Medeiros Kiro if they can hold serve here.
Nice grab volley there by Nicolescu.
15.
I like Kiro and Medeiros taking a moment.
It's just relentless, the pressure that Anika Nicolescu apply on the team, and if you don't get into it with that, you know, like a deep first volley, it's just they're just having so much fun out here, Jerry.
Yeah, no, they look very relaxed.
They do, and I mean, there's a tremendous amount of pressure, and when you talk about who had more pressure coming into this match, I mean, they were gunning for, you know, a berth back in the finals this year from day one of this season. And, you know, given their 2 strong wins this year at Short Hills and Montclair, they came here and then, you know, they put a lot of pressure on themselves. You know, you see Nicolescu's overheads and Anika overheads, and, you know, I just think it's going to be curious to see what Kiro can do with her overhead. She doesn't really hit like a ton of spins on shots. She can bring the power at any point in time, but I just don't see them dictating play off of their overheads in this match.
No, that was a good hold there for Kiro Medeiros, and yeah, Kiro's got more of a, she can hit the roller, but she's got more of a flat overhead. You can hear the sound of it. She hasn't got that spin overhead coming down the right side of the ball to kind of break into the side screen yet.
Not yet, but you know,
I think I will
moment
just
she gets it,
right.
Watch out.
The off season, yeah, she'll add that.
Yeah, and it's that contact point, Jerry. You see with a lot of players when they're newer to the game from tennis, you know, they tend to not let the ball get to them, where they start to realize when you let the ball get to them, then they can put different kinds of spin on it.
See the different pace there, Anika overhead. Just going straight and deep back to Medeiros.
Yeah, and Anika, Jerry, and
15 love.
Nicolescu have a masterful game plan going here right now, and they're just bringing it to Macy Medeiros, hitting a lot of shots like medium-paced balls, and they're forcing Macy to generate her own pace here, and she's not had that much success on her forehand yet, taking advantage of those shots. The shots are hit as kind of neutral kind of overheads, not giving Medeiros like much juice on the ball to go after, Jerry.
You can really see Kira has improved her screenplay out of that deuce side.
Yeah, teams used to be able to go after her and attack, and it's not the case anymore.
Yeah, she's got to watch out though for that. That's a setup play, and they're hitting that hard roller. And Anika closes the net, looks for the volley. Well, that'll make her feel good.
Oh yeah.
15 all.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, Anika had a little bit of open court there, and could have floated that ball, just aimed a little bit higher over the net there. But great defensive play from Kira out of that deuce court in that point. Jerry, you saw Macy Medeiros tee off in a two-handed backhand there, and that's definitely her better stroke off the deck. And when she won nationals, with Marcela Redesno, we just saw her just, bring that two-handed backhand huge from the middle all the time. And, Anika and Nicolescu are just not giving her that shot here.
Right. And I'm sure you mentioned it before, but just in case, that she played the deuce side where she won that national championship. So they're just really not giving Kiro much to get juiced on from that deuce court back there, and kind of putting this match on Medeiros' paddle over in that ad court. Nice counter volley, Nicolescu there. You know what? I think it wouldn't hurt. I mean, they got one there. It wouldn't hurt Kiro to be a little sneaky and take one of those balls coming hard off the back screen and hold it to the last minute, and then throw up a lob over Anika's left shoulder.
That's all she has to do, Jerry?
Yeah. Well, she's there. She's got it, and she's completely, catching up with it. But she's driving every single ball, and Anika is just right there, ready for that volley.
Right. She needs a little deception, I think, is what you're alluding to.
I love it when they're tricky.
Oh, believe me, we love a trickster on a paddle court. No, Jerry, that's a great point, because she's got to mix it up, and the team just gets dialed in and knows how to defend against, what she's hitting. And to your point, you're right. If she were to just do that one time, it could change the positioning at the net for Anika and Nicolescu.
0-0.
Nikki just caught the top of the net there. And
5-4, first set.
Yeah, I feel like Kiro and Medeiros are finding their way a little bit, but Anika Nicolescu are making a couple of errors.
Well, just right there, Roxy cut it a little too close. Had that miss in that game in transition where she had a little bit open court. I don't think she realized her good fortune at that moment. And Medeiros, Kiro are at 4-5. And Jerry, this is what we love to see. We love to see it just being ultra competitive. Both teams keeping the score close. It just makes for such an exciting women's nationals final. So we've got Lynn Kiro serving. to Roxy Anika. Jerry, I like the setup at the net with Medeiros to the left of Kiro. Kiro has such reach, and her ability just to smother that middle with her volley because of her reach and athletic ability puts them in a really good defensive position, you know, to withstand Nicolescu and Anika's drives. So I do like that setup better than with Kiro to the left of Macy Medeiros.
30, love.
Jerry, you feel a little bit of shift here? Just looked like Anika Nicolescu were on their way to this first set, and boom, a couple of shots, a couple of misses, and Medeiros and Kiro are right back in there. Big momentum swing.
40, love.
Yeah, really good play from Nicolescu. Good recognition of Kiro's positioning right there, and caught her a little bit off the net.
Medeiros. Games are 5-all, first set.
So as you heard it from our umpire, Ron Laboon, we have an extraordinary match here. 5-all, first set. Big comeback here from Kiro Medeiros. Really rock solid play just the last 3 games, and have turned the momentum here. And I feel like they're much more relaxed and feeling it. The game's coming to them right now. Nicolescu serving. That's Lynn Kiro. Big windup out of that deuce court.
15, love.
Just sick hands from Kiro right there, coming up with that shot. Phenomenal play.
All.
So this is just dead even here. 5-all, first set. Finals of the Women's Nationals from Chicago, from the beautiful Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois. I'm Patty Hogan along with Jerry Vion, calling the action. Again, a lot of play from Nicolescu and Anika over into Medeiros' side of the court in that ad court. Great little blitz move from Medeiros right there. Played off that lob from Kiro beautifully. Kind of caught Anika Nicolescu slightly off guard there and just pounce, and that's what they can do. Both teams just can take advantage of those situations. So fun to watch their fast hands out here on display. Again, you saw Kira move in just in case the ball was going to sit up and she could get her paddle on it. It did not. She just backed up, retreated back to the baseline.
All.
5-all, 30-all, first set.
See, and this is the thing, Jerry. I just feel like in these pressure moments, these huge moments, Nicolescu wants the ball, and she wants to be the player to the left of the two players. And when they do that, I think it works out beautifully for Anika Nicolescu.
And she's going after that ball. You saw Medeiros really didn't step into it, so the spin played her.
Game, Anika Nicolescu. They lead 6-5, first set.
So, Jerry, when we knew this was going to be the finals, I did anticipate that this would just be so freaking exciting every moment. Just all these women just can bring it. None of them have any fear in their game, you know, and they play and they rely on their offensive capabilities. And, I mean, they're just putting on a great show here for everyone.
And no surprise, really, because the past 3 times that they've played is all gone 3 sets. And so we knew if all players showed up, we were going to be in for a battle. I mean, the last time they played was at the Short Hills Invitational, which was Anika Nicolescu.
I just thought
Kira
it was the
Medeiros
match
got
of
the first
year,
hit.
Jerry.
Well, I mean, they got the
incredible.
It was a tiebreak 10-8 in that second set, and then 7-5 in the third.
15 love.
I love how low Medeiros got on that volley there. Jerry, what do you think? Tiebreaker?
I'm feeling tiebreak, yeah.
Jerry, like I said, I do like this setup with Medeiros and Kira, with Medeiros in the red pants handling more of the overheads. I feel like she has much more variety on her overheads at this point. And
yes.
I feel like she's, you know, like really calibrates her shots, and like right there, she just kind of put some hang time on that shot, just got it deep to Anika, knowing all Anika could do would be throw up a lob in that situation.
Right, and she just countered there. You saw that she got pulled back deep and wide, and she just reset, put the ball down, straight down the middle. And like we had said before, Kira's overheads, she hits it a little flat. She goes for the down-up overhead. You just have to watch out, because you can see, if you watch Nicolescu in that ad side, every time a deep lob goes up, she's moving to her right, looking for her forehand. Oh, good pressure by Anika. was trouble. That overhead was high in the back screen.
Kind of baited her into that shot, Jerry. You know, and it looked to be a little bit of an awkward shot for Kiro. Kind of couldn't make up her mind what to do with that ball.
15 all.
Roxy's wrist better watch out, Jerry.
15-30.
I call this Gabby time. I think there's a few women in our sport, Jerry, who just in the moment, they recognize the moment, and they seem to be the ones that can really take the initiative and take the burden, take the pressure, and go for their shots. And Nicolescu is one of those women. Keeping a lot of the play away from that Anika forehand, Jerry. Hitting a million balls to Nicolescu here.
30 all.
I would say this is a gigantic point, Jerry. Would you agree? So we have a set point for Anika Nicolescu.
Game and first set, Anika Nicolescu, 7-5.
So Anika Nicolescu win that match, as you just heard from umpire Rob Laboon. We will be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by eNet Live.
High performance. Never tasted this good. Chocolate.
Thank you.
Berries. Cinnamon. Agave. Fuel your car. Then fuel your body with Remedy Plus.
Hey, Tiernan. A plastic bag that I can put this
Illinois
in?
Bone and Joint Institute is the best choice for orthopedic care. Our walk-in ortho access clinics provide treatment by orthopedic specialists without a trip to the ER. With evening and weekend hours, we provide your family with excellent care when it matters most. Visit ibji.com to find an ortho access immediate care clinic near you.
Club.
So welcome back. We're the finals of the Women's Nationals from the beautiful Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois. I'm Patty Hogan, and I am now joined in the booth. I mean, that first set was so exhausting. Jerry Vion's got to take a break, so we're going to turn it over to Brad Easterbrook here. Welcome, Brad.
Well, thanks, Patty. That was certainly a roller coaster set there, won by Anika Nicolescu. They jump out to the 5-2 lead, and then it was just like a couple of loose overheads that started sort of a snowball, and then quick jump right back for Medeiros and Kiro. But Nicolescu, and as you mentioned before, I think you said it was Gabby time, they took over at the end, but it actually started a lot with the Anika returns and the Nicolescu list. So great first set there, a lot of back and forth.
And just amazing teamwork on display from Anika Nicolescu out here. And just, you know, I was talking to Jerry earlier from last year's loss in the finals at Women's Nationals. They started off the season, Brad, and they have just come together as a team. And, you know, just the whole thing, as you know, you got to peak at the right time of year for Nationals. It's all about Nationals. Winning all the tour events are great as you move along, and you can win some prize money and win national ranking points. But for the top players, the importance of getting a national title is just huge.
Wow, what a shot there from Nicolescu. She starts out firing 2-3 hard overheads in. And Kiro's done a much better job from the beginning of the season to now tracking those down. That one was perfect. That's a stick there from Medeiros. Finds off the right hip of Nicolescu.
40-15.
Forces big error there. It's a big time for Medeiros and Kiro. I'd like to see him get off to a good start here. There's always a moment, usually in each one of these sets here, where you have your opportunity to sort of make your run. You get an error, loose error from your opponents. Got to be ready to capitalize. Both these teams are playing well. There's a lot of great points. Just the athleticism out here is incredible, Patty. Here, and then just 3 thundering returns. Kiro Medeiros, break point. And now we see the flakes coming, sort of a sleet starting to come down. The weather's been coming in, we can see it on the radar. And the heaters should be going on any time now, I'd expect. Just such a get there from Medeiros.
And Brad, if the weather does come in, huge advantage to the team with the lead, because all of a sudden it's just a gigantic equalizer and points will start skidding out here, and you know the play will totally change.
Absolutely will. Right now it's not too heavy. I expect the heaters can keep up with this. See how it goes. The squall's moving in. And I think it's going to stay with us the rest of the way, Patty.
Advantage, Miss Medeiros.
Brad, when the weather does come in.
Game. Medeiros.
You leave me hanging, Patty. When the weather does come in now, wait.
Well, I was going to listen to our umpire call the score there for 1 second, but big advantage goes to the server when the conditions, you know, when the playing surface, when the ball starts skidding, big advantage to the server. If you throw up lobs and there's any kind of slices on the overheads, all of a sudden point-ending shots come into play here, where you can just see the athleticism out here in a dry court. They can get anything back. All of a sudden, this game could change dramatically.
Yeah, without a doubt. It'll be interesting. Strangely though, you know, the overhand servers, the guys who hit it a little harder, they get more skid factor. Some of these guys are hitting the underhand of the topspin serve. It actually doesn't skid as much. It's always good to have sort of a second serve in your pocket for the conditions that change. But you're absolutely right. Big difference. listener chime in about foot faults. And it's a super fine line, so you take a serve like Medeiros, who's coming in there, and she's tossing way out in front and stepping up into the court. The key to what's a foot fault or not is whether she's hitting the ball before her foot lands on the court or not, and that's what the umpire decided. She's very close to the line. It looks to me like it's a good serve.
Yeah,
We haven't had a foot fault called yet.
Right, but it's so close. She's within like 1/16 of an inch of touching the court and being a foot fault, but she somehow avoids it.
40 love.
And that's sort of the whole effectiveness of the Medeiros serve, is she's moving in behind it as it's coming. The serve is slow, and she's almost beating it to the net. She's able to get up in there, so even when they crush it, they can't get it away from her, and they can't get it at her feet. Big drive.
Yeah,
Nicolescu there.
Hung that overhead up there, gave Nicolescu the ball of life.
40-15.
And that's why I do like with Kira Medeiros. I like when Medeiros is the player to the left, Brad, handling more of the overheads with her variety of spins that she hits.
You know, when they made that comeback, she definitely was starting to turn around. Nicolescu a little bit in that back corner, especially with the backside little cutter that was spinning out to the side wire after it hit the back screen.
Yeah.
Fortune there for Nicolescu.
30.
Definitely coming in now.
And I like that Anika, put a little bit of top on that ball, hung it, hit it well enough over the net. Like, I like that she's aiming higher on her drives. I mean, she's making an incredibly high percentage of her drives throughout this whole championship weekend. And in short hills, I just saw it from Nicolescu and Nika. Just the firepower and consistency, outstanding.
0-0. They lead 2 games to love. Second set.
All right, so great start. I think she's asking for a change of the ball, maybe because of the wetness, but
Brad, real fast, couple shout-outs.
We can change it to every
Ellen Birchinall, big fan of live streaming, big fan of listening to you, Brad, and it's her birthday. So, Brad, let's sing happy birthday. No, I'm only kidding. Let's not sing happy birthday.
Everybody
well, we'll see if we get a moment.
Carol Uwerton joined the action. Arlene and Tom from Hinsdale.
You want to keep it
Ty
at 7?
Conderoga loving the action.
Patty, if anybody gets a shout out to what's going on in Ticonderoga, it's you. You built a grassroots paddle program up there.
Tournament director's call on that.
All right, so we got to get a ball. They want a new ball, so this is what's going on the court. She's asking for a new ball. I'm not sure because of the wetness that it's become balled early, and it's not within the rules, right? They're changing balls every 7 games. She's asking for a tournament director here. If all 4 players agree, I would assume it would be fine. But if one of the players doesn't agree, I would assume it just goes to.
Right.
But
all 4 agree, and I think they can switch. They could switch every 4 points if all
they
4
agree. Sure. But right now you got umpire Rob Laboon, who's got a plastic baggie up there to try to keep his score sheet dry as he's charting the match up there.
Awesome drive. Just picked the right pocket of Anika right there on that return to serve.
Yeah, the returns are becoming huge.
This is the thing with Nicolescu. Sometimes on her serving games, it's a little nerve-wracking watching. She doesn't hit the hardest serve, and they are a little bit vulnerable. And what they did at Short Hills, which I see is Anika doing right now,
they
just stay back. And I think it's the brilliant play. It's the smart tactical move at this point in this match.
Yeah, they have great volleys, but it doesn't matter because the other guy's hammering the ball, 100 miles an hour at him from 20 feet away.
Right, and Medeiros, Kira, when they get that offense going, boom, you gotta take that part of the game away from them. You take it away by staying back. Brad, do you think we're going to be playing till midnight tonight?
I think we won't. I think we're going to make it under the wire.
Okay.
Be home just in time to change our clocks and spring them forward. That was a big rip there. Let it go. It goes wide. Along,
40.
So it's a really good start for Kira Medeiros. 2 more break points to go up 3 love. And really what we're seeing too is, I wouldn't say a change in strategy per se from Kira Medeiros. They're having more success. So they got down 5-2. Since that time, it's been even, and now they're striking up a little bit of a lead here in this second set. They're just executing better to me. You know, Kiro missed a few drives early on. Yours as well. Just getting better execution going on.
And it's not like Nicolescu and Anika's level is going down. It's Medeiros and Kiro's level is continuing to rise here in the early going in this second set.
And that's always the trick too, because you're winning points. When you're getting points from your opponent's errors, you have to replace those once they stop making those errors, right? And not only are they making a few less errors, but they're starting to bring bigger drives. It's all the difference in the world. I mean, what a big moment here for a lot of these players. You know, Nicolescu's already a 3-time national champion, but Medeiros got one. But Kiro, after 2 years, has an opportunity out here on the biggest stage, and 4 national finals. I know you guys were talking about that before for, you know, for Roxy and Roxy and Nika. So this would be a huge moment for her.
Roxy is having a healthier season. She had a couple injuries she was battling the last 2 years. You know, had some knee troubles, a little back trouble, whatever. I think she's got a good team who are keeping her together and making her feel physically as well as she can feel. And she's, you know, Roxy is just turned into a much better competitor in the second half of the season. She's just awesome talent, but I just think she's becoming a better competitor. Yeah, understanding the moments, the key moments, and when the key moments are about to happen, and playing those moments better.
Yeah, the talent's always been undeniable, right?
30, 40.
It would just be these, you know, these moments when there would be a little bit of a disappearing, or even a little bit of the hangdog. She stays positive. There's no reason she can't win multiple national championships. Spot on that drive, and Medeiros tees it up, but awesome reflexes from Nika.
Yeah, you could just see a Nika unfazed. You know, she's seen Medeiros loading up for her best shot, a two-handed backhand rip, and Nika just stands there. And then, you know, Brad, you're a big fan of mixed doubles, and Anika played a lot of mixed, and I just think these women who play mixed doubles, there's a huge benefit to them in their sport because they're used to playing against the top guys in the country, and you know they can withstand any offensive, you know, bombs that come their way. It's so fun to watch.
I think you make a great point, Patty. And on top of that, usually, oftentimes in those mixed doubles games, frequently they have the guy do a lot of the overhead work, and the woman's job is actually to be cutting off the volleys and making those crucial moments so they can't dictate at the net. Oh boy, this will be a huge comeback.
Ms. Nicolescu.
I always thought mix was so fun and just great to improve my volley skills all the time when I played a lot because you just had to be sharp, but you knew the ball was coming at you.
Yeah, but Patty, I don't think your volley skills needed improvement.
Oh, they did.
You were a master volleyer, still are.
No, but in mixed, you knew as the female on the court they were coming your way on any short ball. And I also knew if I go forward, I had great players like Anthony Cosmano or Dave Omal who would cover the lob for me. I didn't worry about it. Had to worry
Patty,
about it a little bit more in women's play.
That's definitely a different kind of coverage level there, but these 40 love games, they always come back to haunt you, so this would be a huge victory to get the first game in this set here for Nicolescu and Nika coming back from love 40 down. Oh, and that's a great chip. She surprised her there. Yeah, she didn't think it was coming. She stayed back behind the service line. Just a little punch chip. She was in a little. She could have handled it, but too good. That volley got up a little high on her. Popped up a little.
Did she pop up, or like Kiro, brings that return to serve kind of at that awkward height, and I think Gabby Nicolescu hesitated for 1 second, just debating, was that ball going to be in or not? She wasn't in her usual real low position for that first volley.
Might be right. Okay, she called a little late on the call, but confirmed by the umpire. So back to deuce.
See, right there, I just think Nanika should have stayed back on Nicolescu's serve. Huge moment here. They're down 2-0 in the second set. Kiro is just looking to pummel that return to serve. Take the pressure off yourselves and just stay back.
Smart lob volley there. Ooh, miscommunication, but they get away with it.
That's an interesting thing, that middle ball in between Kiro and Medeiros. I don't think they've totally sorted out that play yet when they're on the baseline.
All right, I think she's calling her back, or she's calling her back for a conversation. Nope, staying up.
Oh boy, I don't like it.
Put that down. Noted.
Only because I feel like Kiro has a huge advantage with her return to serve off her forehand there.
Well, she just proved you right there, just thumping her.
Thank God I was right
Winner.
that time, Brad. Thank God.
Mark that down as well. And that time she does stay back. Oh, that's a good tag, but Roxy's such a good athlete. Oh.
Second set.
All right, it's time to talk about Fusion. And Fusion is a proud partner to the APTA. Fusion curates what's next in branded gear and apparel for your company, your team, or your event. With a team of dedicated industry experts, Fusion curates high-end product selections for customization with your club logo, team name, or corporate identity. They create a stress-free shopping experience with custom online stores and quick custom ordering to get the gear you need now without any hassle. So visit www.gearbyfusion.com and let Fusion provide you with the gear to fuel your brand. So a great 3-love lead and a great start here for Kiro Medeiros. They're heating up on their returns, and maybe they should listen to you and stay back more on the return there.
Having a ball discussion again.
Yep. You can hear it going.
Hey, Brad. Are you ready for this shout out? I got to do one more.
No, Patty, I'm ready.
Okay, this is to Julie Borpe in Cincinnati, and you're not even going to believe it, Brad, who her grandmother was. Do you want to take a guess? True or false? Her grandmother was Mrs. Henry B. Joan, and she played in the first finals of the Women's Nationals, Brad. True
That's
or false?
amazing. I'm going to go with true.
I think you're right again, Brad.
That's an amazing shout out right there.
I got an email from a friend of mine, Barb Bianco, from Barcelona last week. She said she ran into a woman who knew the game of paddle, knew of both you and I, and she was talking about, she said it was her grandmother who appeared in the first finals of the Women's Nationals. I always wondered what her first name is, and it's Joan.
That's classic. That is a great small world story. And here we go. After the ball discussion now, Medeiros takes a practice serve with a brand new ball. I think they've settled on 5 games, but I think it's going to be sort of an ongoing conversation with these guys. Because clearly when the ball gets wet and they hit it along the ball and the flocking skids off the ball becomes balled in 2 or 3 games. Could be even a game, actually, to be honest. So they're going to a new ball here. 3-love lead, Kiro Medeiros.
And they're using Viking, the official ball of the championships here in Chicago, and I think they should change it as much as they want, personally, Brad. When the weather does come in, it does compromise play a little bit, and having a newer ball just just makes it so much easier to handle the ball in the wet conditions.
Yeah, so much of it comes down to the players agreeing, though. You know, and at this point, they seem to all be in agreement on the ball change.
And it's funny, are you more agreeable if you have the lead or you don't have the lead?
That's a great question. I think it's how you feel on how it works. There are different people who feel like a ball that's a little balder actually is okay in the rain. You know, because it doesn't have the surface to skid on the court.
Carl Lebanon believes that.
Yeah. Carl, bringing out, there's another shout out.
Macy's former boss, Carl Lebanon, enjoying the action.
Oh, just out of the reach there of Nicolescu.
On that other overhead, Kira let that ball drop a little bit. I'd love to just see her do that more. And maybe if she's looking up into the rain and snow, she'll be forced to let that ball drop, but she just gets a little better visibility on it.
Right, you can see the ball, then you want to actually have to look up into the snowflakes coming into your eyes. And I think in general that's something that could be used a little more. Right now she does hit a lot of overheads from up to down. She's tall, she's athletic, she can get it into the sides green well, but just for variety purposes, and that long overhead is a crucial shot. Great volley. Nicolescu makes the run, but just can't track it down.
30 all.
It's really coming down out there, Brad.
Yeah, this is a real squall. This is a lot of weather. The court is going to be, it's completely wet.
I mean, I haven't seen any slipping yet, but there could be, you know, if it gets slippery, we could have to pause play here a little bit. I mean, I think it was supposed to, something was going to blow through from 7 to 9 tonight, so I'm not sure if the forecast still holds that way. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah,
I
pause
think
and play.
John Scott is going to check it out for me.
John Scott is the weather prognosticator extraordinary and our producer here.
Yep, he's the weather forecaster. He said it's still snowing. Or raining, whatever it's doing. Thanks, John.
Saying it's precipitating.
It's interesting you have Anika Nicolescu. They have their baseball caps on. That comes in handy. And when it gets wet out here, Kiro Medeiros, no hats.
Yeah, it's funny. You get used to playing with or without something, right? You've always played with a hat on, Patty.
I have always
know,
played with a hat because
right?
I feel like I could play taller with a hat.
If it works for you, that's great. But I see both. I can actually go a little bit of both ways with the hat thing. But most players are actually uncomfortable. If you told them to put a hat on, a lot of players are uncomfortable. I think I've seen Macy play with a hat a few times, though. That's a great lob. It's going to be a good setup. A nice blitz there from Anika.
What a rip from Medeiros.
Teed it up.
40, 30.
And as we mentioned earlier, she did win a Nationals in that deuce court. She's got game over there, and she's transitioned over to that ad court this year. But, you know, it's funny when you play deuce versus ad, the movements are a little bit different. You know, do you like the ball moving into your body or away from your body? There, that ball was moving away from Medeiros, and, you know, that just was a beautiful moment for her forehand. She loved the swing on that, the ball moving away from her.
Well, we often talk, you know, about Medeiros and her backhand, and that her backhand might be her favorite shot. But how many backhands have you seen her hit today, compared to forehands? Right, it's about 10-1 because she's in the ad court and she's developing that forehand. It's a very good shot as well. That's the overhead that's been given a little trouble to Nicolescu, the one she's going deep inside that first post and spinning it out to the sidewire. There's another one.
But I love the variety on the Medeiros overhead there, and great defensive play from Nicolescu. You know, handling all the spins. And look at Anika time.
Oh, Great hands from Kiro. That was a great transition back.
What a rip.
Oh, she just tagged her. Wow, and the fist pump. Oh, a double fist pump. Ah, I love that. She earned that point. Those guys transitioned back. There was a great move from Anika. And just teed that one up.
Awesome play from Medeiros. And you know, you could just, after that first set, you knew there was just going to be something that would ignite Kira and Medeiros, and they have been ignited here. And, you know, when you can tag a top player like Anika, not for nothing, that feels pretty good. Not only you win the point, but you win like 3 mental points with that direct body shot.
Oh, she was fired up there. You saw it. And the way they earned that point, too, you know, transitioning back.
And slipping. So that's a John Noble.
So they're asking for a suspension of play. It's an interesting thing. I remember like a few years ago, right? Pouring rain in New Jersey. Some of the worst conditions I think we've ever seen in a national. Played right through it. Now it's becoming a tournament sort of director's call. They're asking about slippage, talking about it. And this is an interesting thing. I'm curious as to who's asking, because I wouldn't think Kiro Medeiros want to go anywhere right now.
I don't
they got
think
momentum,
they
and I think they're up 4-love, and they're cruising, and they've actually had the upper hand since 5-2 down. Even though they lost that first set, they still sort of turned the tide there. So I'm curious as to who's asking. I'm guessing it's Niculescu and Anika, who just sort of want a timeout here.
You know, they need a timeout. They just need to go into a corner and just kind of calm down. So even this slight delay could help them here.
It's interesting.
If I'm Kira Medeiros, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to leave this court right now.
Now, Patty, I've been around a while, but do you recall ever a Nationals with play suspended due to weather? Even like, I mean, lightning, I know you'd have to suspend because nobody's going to be standing out there in lightning, right?
Not in a metal cage.
Not in the metal cage with a copper rod.
Nothing gets past you, Brad.
No, but I mean, have there ever been a national that you've gone where
you just have to keep going? I mean,
no, so there hasn't been. So there really isn't a precedent for this. Is there even a precedent for another player team?
Player safety comes into this. You know, but I haven't seen anybody slip or slide out there yet. So Jackie Cameron, the APTA tour director, will talk this over. She's channeling former tour director Shannon Vincent, Tiernan Cabana, Jason Love, and Waldron. They're all in having a discussion here. And
it's kind of a groundbreaking moment because paddle's always been sort of just an all-weather game. Nobody likes to play in the rain. The honest truth is, if it's raining out and I got a game with my friends or a practice, I pretty much, let's blow it off, right? But if you play a tournament, you know, you're expected to play.
You're always expected to play, right? And I mean, there's nothing better than going out with your buddies on Thursday night and playing. But no one does want to get hurt when they go out there. But in a tournament, I feel like you have to. I feel like.
Well, it's not our call, but a league matches get canceled.
You know what? Why don't we take a time to talk about our friend Sarah, north of the border, chiming in from Canada.
Sarah, north of the border. I just got word, though, Patty, that it's a 15-minute pause right now, waiting for the squall a little bit. And I think even this pause could be useful for Niculescu and Anika.
You remember Sarah used to serve on the APTA board?
I do remember Sarah Landier.
And she is enjoying the action up there. Hi.
Pleasure of going up to Toronto with her great group, like Kings Highway Club. I'd like a clinic and exhibition up there with Max Lindbergh and none other than Mark Fishing. So we can give it a little break.
So they take a 15-minute break. Brad, this gives us a lot of time. Let's go through.
I think it gives us 15 minutes back.
I think we have 15 minutes.
I think we have 15 minutes.
Are you sure it's 15?
Yeah. I'm going to go out.
Brad, I think this gives us a good
That's
time.
900 seconds, baby.
To go through all our former national champs, Brad.
If you were welcome to do that, you know. But as it is now, I think she asked for towels. We got 4 towels in here. I think they're all soaking wet at this point. I'm going to keep a couple of those back for Niculescu.
You all don't feel the same thing.
You know, and so right now this is also a decent time for microwave popcorn, or to make some nachos.
Right, but they're kind of chunky on the air with the mic. I find nachos are not good on air.
Well, not for us, Patty.
Oh,
You get no nachos. Sorry, my friend.
okay.
None for you.
I just have to stick with the gummies.
You do have gummies, and by the way, they're just Welch's fruit snacks.
They
for
are
all of
just-
you out there, they're not
And I'm
other
gonna
types
share.
of gummies. She is sharing them. Yes.
So we talked about Nicolescu. She's won 3 national championships. Last year, Hannah Zabori won this event over Anika Nicolescu. Great 3-set match. In 2021, Hannah Zabori survived in the rain and those really tough conditions, took out Liz Cruz and Gabby Nicolescu in that match. That was a 3-set brawl as well. Macy Elliott came through in 2020 with Marcella Radesno. They took out the tournament #1 seeds at the time, Annika Cooper and Flor Hanisch. Liz Cruz won with Gabby Nicolescu back in 2019. Liz Cruz won with Gabby in 2018. And this is such a special treat to get some of the best women who have ever played this game out here, Brad. And it is such a shame the weather is coming into this, because I was loving the momentum swings in this match and just adjustments in tactics. I'm surprised that women are still standing out here.
Well, it looks like that Kiro Medeiros, they want to just keep plugging away, and you can see that Nika Nicolescu are definitely off the court, and Kiro Medeiros are trying to stay warm, which I actually don't think is a bad idea for them. Try to keep themselves going a little bit, but if you're practicing out there for 10, 15, 20 minutes, it will get long, and there's going to be a moment where they're going to lose that mental edge. But right now, what they're trying to do is keep that mental edge sharp, and because they're up 4-love. And they've had the better of this set. They've been rushing drives.
Yeah, Brett, I actually think this is a really smart play, because this sends a message. We're not scared of the rain, the snow. We don't care what the weather is. We're out here to play in the finals of the Women's Nationals. I think Roxy and Gabby are headed to Fusion, our official vendor, to see if they're selling umbrellas.
Yeah, Fusion umbrellas. They do have everything in there for your fuel your brand, and as it goes in there, they actually probably do have some rain gear, and that would be super handy. A little rain gear.
Oh, you got a bag here.
So, Brad, we started off the APTA Tour this year in Montclair, and that was where Anika Nicolescu won the event. And they beat Medeiros and Radesno in that match. That was when Medeiros and Radesno were teaming up. We went to Medina. That's where Cruz Williamson won the finals of Medina. We went to Philly Cricket. Hannah Zabori won that match. We then traveled right back here to Chicago for the charities, and Zabori Hanisch won that one over Morgan and Sikora. Great tournament here, going out in the semis on the other side of the draw.
All right, looks like they're going to go back out to play. Decision has been made here, and they're heading back out there. So Nika Nicolescu, I'm sure, will be back out momentarily. And Kiro Medeiros. They've been staying out there. You see Medeiros actually smiling, keeping bouncy.
I mean, Brad, they get it. They're out here playing for a national title, but they're so grateful for this opportunity. And the rain is not going to drive them off that court. They want to be here in this moment. They don't care what the circumstances are.
Give me 20.
Yeah, I understand. It's an interesting thing. I mean, to me, this is unprecedented. It's never really been, it's always sort of been an all-weather game. This is going to be something that they think about for hard weather, down the line, how we're going to approach this thing. Request was made, though. Play was determined to be continued on. They took a break to determine it. And we're going to get back out there. Kiro Medeiros, definitely not a great hair day, maybe. But those guys were on fire, up 4-love, rushing drives. The court is definitely wetter. I find that players who tend to hit the ball flatter, did you see play actually change? Have you seen a ball actually skid at this point?
No, I've not.
I did not see that yet. I mean, there's clearly, the court is slicker than it would be. It's not a simple move on it, or it may give you a little bit of an issue with it.
But Brad, good signs. I see the steam coming up off the courts. That means the heaters are working. The court is from the first. Looks like it's starting to dry up a little bit, so that's the trick. If you can get those heaters to stay a little bit ahead of the rain and snow.
Yeah, this is coming down pretty. Actually, it's lighting up a little bit here. It actually may be able to keep up to some degree. So once that heat gets ramped up a little, courts have been good, played very well here. You know, Montclair was just a couple of years ago, you know, where everything was played in the pouring rain.
Yeah. I don't know how long the delay is going to be.
So we'll see where the players actually took off to.
If they're going to get going here, I don't want to come down, but if it could be 15 minutes, yeah, I'll come down.
I don't know if you can hear it just kind of on the side of your mic, Rob Laboon up there in the chair. He's like, are they coming? If they're going to, you know, I don't want to come down, but if they're not coming, I think I will come down. So he's sitting up there in the rain. He's got rain gear on. They give him a great umpire jacket, which is a complete all-weather jacket. He knows his job really well. Rob Laboon is seasoned, one of the top umpires here for the APTA. So, you know, he's in the worst chair of all. Like, feeling it firsthand from a higher elevation.
So I think I see Anika Nicolescu over courtside, Brad.
What I'm curious about more than anything else is, was this a team decision or a player decision? Did they say together, let's do this? Or, you know, and if it's going to affect play at all, you know, for any of the teams, you know, will it cool off Kiro Medeiros, who's up to a 4-love lead? You know, will it, was it the kind of thing where the request was denied, so it's going to affect Nicolescu and Anika mentally, right? It's just a tricky situation. So we'll see how it reacts.
Nicolescu just needed a little bit of a timeout. They left the court. Perhaps, you know, it was a little bit of trying to figure out how they can, you know, turn the momentum again in this match. And
yeah,
you know,
what you're talking about is tactics to a degree, Patty.
Sort of a little gamesmanship tactics, and maybe they thought, hey, the weather's cool right now. We have an opportunity to stop and, you know, kind of get geared up again. Down 4-hole, big hole in the second set. They won the first set 7-5.
Well, they're back out. Lisa Nika's made her way onto the court. Here's Nicolescu right behind her. And it's a curious thing. I mean, definitely some of the people in the stands have gone into underneath the awning.
Yeah.
But there's still actually the brave few out there in the stands, which I love. You know, hardy folk.
Shout out to Lisa Rudloff, Long Island, enjoying the action. You know, sometimes, Brad, right on the line, you know, if the court's been resurfaced in the last 2 years, sometimes you get those lines get a little slippery in the rain.
It's certainly a possibility. Playing in the rain has always been a part of the sport. It's never not been. The players who can perform in the rain and who practice in it every now and then and understand how to play in it have an advantage in these scenarios. And generally it's players who learn how to flatten the ball out, use spin, but we haven't actually seen play been that bad yet. We haven't seen the ball hydroplane once. Footing-wise, that could be a curious thing. So we'll have to see, because it does make a difference. But that's how you have to adjust your game.
Correct. And Brad, so here we go, Coach Brad. You have Nicolescu, plays with that Western grip way over. Does the rain hurt or help her game?
It doesn't help your game if you use a lot of spin. You got to flatten the ball out a little bit.
So with her grip, that's not her natural at all. Like for her to, she's going to have to make a bigger adjustment, let's call it, than Kiro or Medeiros here.
They flatten the ball out more, but Nicolescu doesn't. She has the ability to flatten it out, but she tends to use the roller drive more. But you'll see Medeiros use it as well. You know, she just kind of has the ability to flatten it out a little bit more, and it's understanding what you need to do in the rain. Here, if you do, if the ball is skidding to any degree, if you have a harder overhand serve that you sort of chop down on and through, that ball would skid. The only player, none of the players really are using that type of serve. Kiro's the closest one to it. You know, Medeiros hits sort of a slow push serve. It's never going to skid. It doesn't have enough pace to actually skid. It's going to sit there and bounce. Same thing with the topspin serves. They're not going to skid because the ball's going to roll forward. The only type of serve that's going to skid is you cut it a little firm from up to down.
What you said.
None of the players really do it.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I have to follow what the tournament director.
Same thing with Nicolescu. She just pushes the serve in the box. Nicolescu's making her point once again, but you know, play continues.
Yep, and Brad, what I was thinking about with Nicolescu a little bit is, you know, she's got the big windup, and I always feel like in the rain it comes down to making sure you make your return of serves, and I think some of those big windups work against, you know, when the players have that big windup, that works against them in wet conditions. So, what was Rob Laboon just saying? Sorry, Brad.
I think he was saying, start playing.
I agree. Let's go. And we're back. Finals, the Women's Nationals from Chicago. I'm Patty Hogan along with Brad Easterbrook. Anika Nicolescu, huge, strong start here. Won that first set 7-5. Big momentum switch. And Kira Medeiros, just their level of play has gone up and up. They have a 4-love lead here in the second set.
That's a nice topspin drive, but just a miscommunication there for Nicolescu and Anika.
And I just feel like Nicolescu and Anika, they're having Moody's with the playing conditions right out here.
They're going to have to get their heads right. This is still a national championship, and it's going on the record books.
They need a lobotomy.
They need a lobotomy?
Yeah, Vlad, can you do that? I know you can teach anybody to do any shot in battle. Do you perform surgery? Because they can't let a Moody impact, you know, this situation right here. They played a great first set. They're down in a hole the second set. These are the circumstances. Deal with it.
Well, they got to have a short memory, and they got to refocus on what's going on the court. And on the flip side, there is a skid, by the way. That ball, they're going hard and low now, and they're figuring it out. That ball is skidding a little now, for sure.
So that's where it's a gigantic advantage to be at that net team. And
absolutely, but great blocks there from those guys.
Right, Brad, and you know, it's going to take away people's ability to lob and set up points, because if you throw up the lobs and people just come at you with those wicked cutters that just skid on the court,
15 all.
That's rough. So then they're forced to, you know, play a totally different set of shots.
That's what I want to see. The topspin serve. That ball still sits up, will not skid. They're going to get good looks on the return. That's where they're going to try and make their bread and butter. After that, the advantage is 100% going to be to the net team. And they're going to have to take strikes when they need to and make sure their lobs are high and deep. So that's going to be a decent look. Oh, she's going up again.
Curious if we get a Madeira or a Kiro blitz here. You know, there's a lot of the steam's coming up on the court, Brad, on deep lob. Kind of would love to see one of them force the action and just try to disrupt Nicolescu a little bit here on the overheads, because they're lobbing really well right here.
Good. As much as the ball skidded a little, we saw it once or twice. That's a regular point there. And they should be doing what they did in those first couple balls in there, which is let the ball drop when they want to, and then carve low and through it when they have the right opportunity to do it. But I haven't seen too many other balls skid, and they haven't compressed it enough to make it do that. Ooh. That's a nice little shovel there from Kiro. That's a great shot, 15-40.
15-40.
Oh, wow.
Move from Kiro.
Stuck it. But here's where you want to have the ability to adjust. People are using the sidearm serve, the underhand serve. Now is the moment to actually hit the overhand cutting serve, right? Because it actually won't bounce up as much. It can skid through the court. So change in tactics might be advisable to the players, but they don't play in these conditions that often. And it does happen. And it's been sort of snowing on and off this entire weekend here in Chicago.
Yeah, they've had a lot of weather come through. And Brad, not everyone's like the great Scott Mansinger, Chicago's own multi-time national champ with flick good speed. And, you know, the talk was always that Scott Mansinger would take a hose out and make the court play with wet conditions on purpose so that he could work on his serving, on his return to serve with wet weather conditions.
Well, and that's a great point. He understands that the game is played in those conditions, and that's how it works. Madero's a 5-love here, serving for the second set. There's a really high lob there from Nicolescu.
All. 30.
I haven't really seen a ball skid since those first couple on that first point, so maybe I had it wrong out there. Nobody's been able to make the ball do much of anything. Biggest problem now is like playing in a fog bank. You gotta but it's great for your skin.
Really?
It's really nice. It's like a spa out there.
It's the spot, Glenview.
Good blitz. Go. That'll help her. She's got to get fired up here.
40.
I love it. Kira's going after her serve, Brad.
Nicolescu taking that practice swing on that one. Got to watch out. The ball will not grab on the top spin as much. You got to hit through a little more. She nets that one. Stretches her out. Now it's set point. Hero. There it is.
They win the second set, 6 games to love.
Brad, we'll be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by eNet Live.
High performance never tasted this good. Chocolate, berries, cinnamon, agave. Fuel your car, then fuel your body with Remedy Plus.
Illinois Bone and Joint Institute is the best choice for orthopedic care. Our walk-in ortho access clinics provide treatment by orthopedic specialists without a trip to the ER. With evening and weekend hours, we provide your family with excellent care when it matters most. Visit ibji.com to find an ortho access immediate care clinic near you.
Welcome back. We're at the APTA Nationals in Chicago for a third set here in the women's final. Brad, I'm Patty Hogan along with Brad Easterbrook, and we couldn't ask for anything more, Brad. 3 sets here in the women's final, I think, with 2 of the hottest teams on tour. Unfortunately, the weather's coming into this and playing a huge factor. Or is it?
I mean, well, it certainly is, and it created a little drama right there in the middle of the match. And, you know, we got some rules clarification. It does say within the rules that it is up to the tournament director and to determine if play is, you know, safe for play. So it was determined that it is. The players went back out. There was a little break in between. And now we're heading into the third and final set here. And it's been an interesting match. A lot of back and forth. But since that moment when they were down 5-2, Kira Medeiros really have had the better of it, clearly.
And Kira Medeiros turned this match before the weather got bad.
Yes, absolutely.
So I just
It was
want to go on
for
record
love
at saying
when the weather
that.
came in.
I mean, their play their level of play just went up, and they started taking it to Anika and Nicolescu. And then the weather seems to be more of a problem for
Another plastic bag like
Anika and Nicolescu.
Another plastic bag.
You know what, I'm just going to keep the one I have here.
You're okay.
Medeiros and Kira, they're out there. They're like boxers getting ready to go, Brad. They're just jumping around trying to stay loose. They know no matter what, they're not leaving this court.
Yeah, they're like boxers out of their corner already. Let's go. Let's go. Bring it out here to the ring.
And put it in this bag.
In a bag like that.
And I love their body language and what they're doing out here. You know, because regardless of the conditions, they're in to fight, right?
Thank you.
So they're out there still warming up again. They're working it. More practice.
You know, at this rate, Brad, we could end up playing till midnight, and that would make Mo Morrison really happy.
Any particular reason?
I think he has something to do with Midnight Paddle. They have great gear.
There you go.
Sponsor of a lot of the tournaments, and Mo has stepped up, and 3 or 4 times he stepped up and been a vendor at APTA Tour events, and he's here. He's got a great booth out there, along with, you should see the Fusion booth this year with Shannon Vinson. I mean, I walked by it. She made me buy like 9 things.
You know, it's interesting you said she made you do it. She does have that strong sale technique. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, she kind of remembered my credit card number and said, Patty, don't worry, we got this so easy. We got the square. You just come out, pick something for Sandy, and take it back to Ticonderoga. Everybody wins.
Well, thanks, and she gave you something on you, too, so I appreciate that, Patty. They have actually really cool gear out there. You're absolutely right. All right, so we'll see here.
So this is the...
You got the balloon in the back. Are they ready to come?
Brad, this is the finals. Welcome to the finals of the women's singles in Chicago.
Singles.
I mean, I didn't know we were going to get 2 events in one year. And again, I just think this time away from the court for Anika Nicolescu, I just don't see how it's going to work for them.
Well, I love how Kira and Medeiros are approaching, right? They're not allowing anything to get in the way of what their mission is. And their mission here is to win the national championships.
Jason, did you get them a new ball? You have it?
Love
Okay.
to see it. You can see Roxy there doing a little bounce up and down. And Roxy and Gabby got to, you know, Nicolescu and Nika have to basically put this stuff behind them, find a new gear here. It's on the line now. Nika starting off this third set. Brand new ball. Big drive from Kiro. They really increased their drive percentage and just started making huge bombs. Great volley and sticking it. Wow.
This feels like the start of the match, Brad.
And that's just great play.
Always deep. 15 love.
Well, if this is any indication, certainly not affecting their drives.
No, and I think if anything, it's forcing them to focus a tiny bit, and I just feel like we're seeing the true competitors out here in Kira Medeiros, and they are just, I just feel like they're grinding and digging deeper right now than what Nicolescu and Anika are. I feel like they need to dig in deep fast. They've lost 6 games in a row.
Yeah, there's no question that the conditions and other things have made a difference, and Kira Medeiros are not allowing for those conditions to affect themselves. They're just on mission, right? No matter what the conditions are, where right now you'd have to say, Nicolescu and Anika were on mission, and now I'm not sure what the mission is. I guess it's just a grin and bear it, right? They're just going to have to find that gear where this isn't going to bother them. They're competitive. I assume they will. But it's a big start here. I think getting this first game, just stopping the bleeding, basically. Like you said, 6 games in a row. Once you get that first game back, it's just a different feeling.
Like, I feel like they have to win this game. I mean, it's a weird thing to say to start off a third set, but
30-40.
they've just lost all the momentum in this match.
No question. I'm not going to say this one's a must-win, but I agree with your basic overall sentiment. She's really tagging those drives. She's going hard at the body and flat. Big shots.
What a gift for Anika right here. Back-to-back return to serve errors.
And then I love the scream. That was like a warrior cry.
I think she channeled her inner Juan Araya on that one.
She has been compared to Araya because of her incredible talent and shot-making ability.
Juan Araya, huge mentor in the game of Roxy and Nika.
There was, a time when Juan Araya was the best player to never win a national, right? And Anika, you would have to say, is that player now on the winning side. I guess you could say Amy Shea as well. I mean, Amy Shea, legend. Goes long and deep at the body.
It's an interesting. Medeiros has a couple shots here that I think she would love to have back.
Turn and missed overhead there. They're just battling here. Oh, nice move there. She kept the volley reasonably low, too. It was not that simple a volley from Hero. She spotted it beautifully.
But I love the blitzing play, moving in off the return of serves here. With this circumstance, it's rain. It's so hard to spot the ball, keep your focus, and all of a sudden you have someone flying through who's got a wingspan of a 747. That makes it challenging.
Oh, she's done such a better job learning how to track those down from 3 tournaments ago out in Boston.
Okay, Medeiros just made up for those 2 errors with that shot. Great footwork, maneuvered herself around and just spotted that drive right off the right hip, Nicolescu.
She's ripped it. And she's swinging with full confidence, and she's not hitting half-pace drives. She's sticking it hard. I think that's actually good in this weather. I think it's hard. You got to be having full commitment here on your drives. If that's out, there's the break. The game slide continues, 7 games in a row now for Kira Medeiros, but there was some fighting there. See what happens. Trying to towel off their rackets.
Brad, you're comfortable calling this match inside here. Great setup by the Glenview Club. They've got this monster paddle hut across from us, and over here we've got their old paddle hut, which provides a wonderful broadcast booth for us.
Yes, it's very dry in here, Patty, and I'm very comfortable.
That's the thing that's most important. It's all about you, Brad, and your comfort out here.
Well, Patty, I'm glad that you finally noticed that. Love. Medeiros serve It's so effective. She gets in. Good volley, and there's a good stick, but she's on top of the net. Tough to make that blitz. Anika was moving forward, but she's not able to get the ball down, so she's trying to beat her with blunt force. They were up to the task there. Oh, just tremendous hands from Kiro Medeiros at a number of times.
Yeah, there's a lively chat going on, Brad. I've just pulled out my iPad, got a few text messages that we're missing out here. So I think the sentiment was they kind of like that Medeiros and Kiro stayed on the court and just grinded out. Every fan in here understands platform tennis, and they think everybody should have just stayed on the court and kept going.
Fans have spoken, and the match continues on. Body in there, you just got Anika, just can't quite come up with the goods there.
40, love.
Just a little off balance. It's a ball she can normally make. She just couldn't get her feet underneath her. 40 love here, and the game slide continues. They're going to have to make a stand at some point, Nika Nicolescu. Getting her to reach on that.
They lead 2 games to love, third set.
So 7-5 first set for Anika Nicolescu. 8 games to love for Kiro Medeiros, and gigantic turn here in this finals.
I'm going to go to must win after Kiro Medeiros get up 3 love. At that, it's a must win. You know, I'm not even giving this a full must win yet, but certainly what's got to change is sort of the approach, I think, you know, more than anything else. I think since that moment, the air had started to leave the building a little bit beforehand, but with the conditions were not there, right, I think everybody was just going to soldier on no matter what, so they would have been forced to do it. This sort of put this wild card thing, which kind of gets in your own head. Hey, look, I asked for, you know, conditions. I didn't feel comfortable playing now, and now, you know, and if you don't, odds are pretty good you're not going to be able to win, right? So there's a certain aspect of mental toughness here that's just a different come and play. And it's tough. That's going to be ripped. Yeah, she overhit that ball. She's got to let it drop.
Right.
She's hitting it from high to low, down, up, hard. And if that ball's not going to spin to the side wire, it's just a layup for Medeiros. And she crunched that. She's got to go back. I think Nicolescu is actually having some words with the crowds for a second there. And because there is a cheering section out there from New Canaan, and they're screaming on every point, it's just another mental thing to deal with.
I mean, you love it when they're boosting you, but it could be also distracting to you at times.
You know, cheering of crowds is sort of a part of it. I've seen other times where it can be a little much.
What's the biggest crowd you had cheering for you, Brad?
I mean, it was a crowd of one. Yeah.
She's right here, right next to us. Your lovely daughter.
Yes.
Nationals is not complete without Sean.
No, I definitely didn't have a cheering section coming with me, but you know, it's amazing that they made the travel and they've come to 3 or 4 tournaments. You brought it up before. The New Canaan crew.
40.
All right, this is going down the drain here because it's also like it's getting that feeling like things are going against you, and it's only going to be up to them to turn it the other direction.
We talked about, you know, who would have a better ability to adjust to the circumstances, and I just thought with Kiro Medeiros, with their grips that they are super comfortable playing the baseline with, but it's a little bit easier. You always teach close to continental, and there you can hit forehand, backhand, you can pull out any shot, and I think they have a little easier time with that than what we see with Nicolescu, who plays with a grip that's way over on her paddle compared to the other two on the other side. Anika makes more grip changes than Nicolescu. But I just still think something, you know, it's about the footing. And I think Roxy coming off knee injury, back injuries, Brad, you know, when you get out there and you're coming back from those kinds of injuries, you just pray for a dry court, and all of a sudden it just brings another thing that you have to worry about. There's so much stress and pressure anyway in this circumstance. You add the rain, it just makes it that much tougher.
30, 40.
Crowd's trying to fire him up, trying to get him in there. It's a good volley there.
Again, Anika and Nicolescu won short hills because they made the adjustment on Nicolescu's serve and stayed back and took that play out of it. And they've gone opposite that in the match here, and I don't think it served them well.
You see the court actually has some dry spots on it. The heaters are doing a decent job. It's not been a lot of skid ball. It's just been a loss of energy and, you know, since that moment. And that break, the way Kiros and Medeiros handled it, staying out there, staying through the conditions, I think it's made a huge difference.
Totally agree.
Great dig from Anika. And now they got to kind of fight through this negativity, get on the other side. Now, they can be in this at any moment. They just got to up their mental game, up their fight, and let their talent speak.
And get a little bit of help from Medeiros and Kiro, who are giving nothing away here.
You know, it's a great point you're making there, because all credit goes to them, whether the conditions, and on top of that, their level just improved from the first set to now. Just massive improvement in their level, lack of errors, and now we're in must-win territory.
3 games to love, third set.
Well, and when Anika started serving this third set, Brad, and I said, I think this is a must-win game, I felt that just the momentum, everything was going against them. And, you know, when you're out here as a competitor, you do have to grind. You can never have the moment be, woe is me. You got to remember, hey, you're talented enough to be on the biggest stage our sport has to offer, and you have to embrace it. And whatever comes your way, you have to learn to embrace that. You kind of have to trick yourself mentally through some of those situations. You know, like, it's got to be mind over matter here, and I've not seen that right now with Nicolescu and Anika.
Wide.
15.
It's nice of Lynn Kira to miss one shot.
Fault in there. That'll help the cause, but
Love 30.
now here's the moment. So this I'm calling a must-win game. So it's a good start for them there. Take the errors, use them, start to build some positive momentum. It's basically everything's been going against. There's a little off-piece. I think there's a slight miss in return, but does the job. Triple break point. Once you get that monkey off your back, 9 games in a row, stops now. It's a different match.
Games are 3-1, third set.
Medeiros Kira went away from what got them that second set, 6-0, with Medeiros handling the overheads. And I think Medeiros was kind of wanting to get back on the left side there, but Kira they weren't calling a switch, and they paid the price for it. And I think that fed into Anika and her strengths. And Anika, you know, got 2 dipping balls that, you know, resulted in a volley error. And you know, that could be the change. That could be the, you know, they needed something to give them a charge, and that could be it.
Well, any spark or catalyst will do at this point. The 2 faults help too, but you're absolutely right. They're going to need a little spark, a little catalyst, and that's the start of it right there. Now they just got to up their game and just a little long.
No, I was talking about my ball that I took.
Oh, I thought you asked.
Yeah, I asked if my ball was in.
No, net ball was
I
deep.
said out, but
Okay.
that ball
A little confusion as to what Nicolescu was asking for there. She was just questioning whether her ball was in or out. Confirmed by the umpire, so it's love 15.
The ball was called out, and the umpire confirmed the call.
Right.
With a little question from Nicolescu.
Well, I mean, she asked the question. She's
Yeah.
within all rights to ask that.
Yep.
That's what the umpire's there for.
It's interesting. I don't know if Medeiros' drive was going out there. Just a little bit of indecision from Anika on that ball.
Yeah, I think it was good, Patty, but it was also right at her body. Not so simple to get out of the way. That is a good ball, and she can't quite catch that one. She's done a great job overall on the plus side on those plays. Back in Boston, she was not on the plus side. She was definitely on the minus, trying to track those balls down. She's worked it out throughout the season, and she's right on the doorstep now of her first national championship, Lynn Kiro.
Pace of play of the servers, ladies.
It's Roxy Anika serving. Lynn Kiro about to hit the return.
The admonition there from the umpire saying pace and play of the servers. That means when the server's ready, you're supposed to be ready. All right, couple of errors creeping in now for Kiro and Medeiros. And this is sort of where the first set was when they started making a few drive errors. Here's going to be the moment. And these guys have been Houdinis, and they were Houdinis in the last match. Kiro and Medeiros had match points against them in short hills. And Nika Nicolescu pulled that out. The third set tiebreaker, I believe.
$30-40.
What a heavy return of serve Lynn Kiro hits out of that deuce court. Really tough to manage.
That's a great dig. Good hands there from Nika. Hard over, that's easily tracked down. She's got to hit that ball a little bit more to the side. So the side wire makes her turn. Transition backhand from Anika.
I feel like Anika's
Drop
feeling
shot.
it all of a sudden, Brad.
Called ball, overruled, looked into me, so an overrule there. Big point there, and it's deuce. That was break point for Kiro Medeiros. Rob Lagoon, the umpire, right on top of that ball, looking straight down at that line. From my vantage point, I thought it was in. So, good job. Just the top of the net.
I think Medeiros is going down the line. What do you think, Brad? No, she went cross court.
You could not have been more wrong, Patty.
So
that is
wrong.
an angled return wide.
I own it. Totally wrong.
You got nowhere to hide, Patty.
I mean, I was thinking what Nicolescu and Nika were thinking. I got nowhere to go.
Well, I knew that was
What
going to
a
happen. I
return
just
serve.
didn't get a chance to say it.
You were thinking it, Brad. What a return of serve.
I was thinking, I'll be quiet and just make fun of you if you're wrong. But that was an amazing return. I've seen her do it a few times. The inside-out forehand, dipping it down there, puts it on the outside of the line. 4-1 lead now, Kiro Medeiros.
Wow, what a shot.
It's on your hand.
Oh, sorry. Good?
Thank you so much.
Put it on your hand.
All right, so Jackie Cameron throwing the ball up there. Jackie Cameron getting some love from the
All
crowd.
right, Jackie.
Look
doing
at
a
that.
Great job. APTA Tour Director. Here we go.
All right. They got to keep fighting here. This is the moment. Keep fighting. Talk with each other. Stay in there. This has quite been going right. They had a moment there. They got a couple arrows from Kiro Medeiros. Got to capitalize, but that is truth. The level of Kiro Medeiros has risen. And the distractions definitely haven't helped Anika and Nicolescu. the number one strength and the thing they've done so well in these last 2 matches. I mean, Kira Medeiros are going to win this national if they win this national, beating, you know, Hanish and Zabordi, and then following it up with Anika Nicolescu.
30,
it's a great
15.
feat. And their volleying has been so fantastic. Taking all the big strikes from Zabordi in the last match, cutting them off, right here doing the same. They're just able to make 1 or 2 more balls and put some extra pressure on that some of the teams aren't. And it's just been incredible to watch.
40, 15.
Starting to feel like it's going faster here, Brad.
Oh no, it's definitely been going. And that's a great ball.
You know, I love Anika's shot when she does go up the line. She's done that a lot throughout the tournament and has had huge success.
That's the better one. That's a little lower. So you can get the right kind of pace on it.
I like this from Nicolescu too, where she let the ball drop low. Instead of doing her rollers, tried a little bit of a slice slash shot.
Oh, great volley. Good recovery there from Medeiros. Oh! Woo!
Whoopsie.
40, 30.
That one was heading towards the crowd. She did not hold back, though. That was a full commitment.
No, but that was a great duck, Brett, on your part there.
I literally did duck, even though it was a good 70 feet from me, and I'm inside a building.
Yeah, we have bulletproof glass protecting us.
Shot of that crease. Great volley. Nicolescu in transition. Excellent anticipation there from Kiro. Stepping in front, knowing the drive's coming. Oh! Catches her in a full squat. Inverted forehand volley there. Great drive. It's beautifully spotted right at the body.
It's just the pressure that Nicolescu applies. That ball goes up the middle, and you know she's going to tag that ball through the middle. You didn't see Kiro slide over and just kind of that ball of backhand. She kind of opened herself up with the forehand.
Yeah, she got stuck kind of in a tough spot.
I think sometimes because of her height and reach, she tends not to fill that gap as much as other times, and Nicolescu was able to capitalize on that right there.
Come on, right now.
You hear it right now. I believe that was Sven Burish out there for the Kiro Medeiros team. Recognize that voice. One of our semi-finalists in the men's draw tomorrow.
Defending men's national champions.
All right, so it is.
Deuce.
Come on, right now.
Yup, and see if they listen to Coach Sven.
Coach Sven, come on right now.
I think they realize
you
what
give
right
him
now
a
means.
Divide. Oh, that was such a good move. He had it.
Advantage, Miss Medeiros.
A couple of decent looks, but they're forcing her to hit the winning volleys, and then they're transitioning back and getting them anyway. They don't tag them. That's great soft hands there from Medeiros. Line. There, sneaky. See, this is the great battle. Like, I'm seeing it here, right at this moment. She pushes that long, and that was amazing. every point like that from Nicolescu and Anika from this point forward. They're at, they're at the end here. And that was a well-structured point, good fight, a couple of great drives in there. Of course, she just pushes the volley along.
Advantage, Miss Medeiros.
Anika got, the swing. She got exactly what she was looking for there on that return. Just didn't make it.
Just amazed they can play all this without a hat. It's impressive. Like the ring beads sort of dripping down your face. They completely nonplussed by it. So clearly it's not bothering them in the slightest. Great lob there.
Hey, Brad, it's not bothering them because they're not letting it bother them.
It's a great point, and they have it throughout, and it's one of the reasons why they're right at the precipice of a national championship. Wow.
You see Kiro, taking a lot of balls, blocking them, not letting them go into the screens.
Yep.
Really taking a little time away from
She really worked her, though, but that was a great job. When you block them, you also don't have a lot of time, but you don't have to chase. So impressive hands there from Kiro, but a great job from Nicolescu, and they just keep fighting.
Yeah, and I like that Nicolescu's overhead stayed really low on Kiro. She's a tall woman, 6 feet tall, and when you get that ball down around her knees, that's possibly the only way to break her down.
That's a good overhead. She sees her position, moves her out with a side back. The corner available. I might have gone right at the crease there, but she's working. What a shot there from Nika.
Kind of a good sign of Nika and Nicolescu. Both wanted that middle ball, but a bad sign also because it's not clear cut who's going to take that middle ball.
These are great points here now. It's like they're starting to forget about all the stuff. It's right here at the end.
Again, a little surprised Medeiros hasn't called the switch and gotten herself over to the left of Lynn, just because she's getting so much more spin on the overheads.
It's a mini match point here. But what a difference between 4-2 and 5-1, Patty.
For sure.
Oh! What happened there? She was going to cut it. Whatever it was, it went off the top of her paddle.
5 games to 1, third set.
But Brad, I just talked about their indecision on the baseline play, and here you go. They take over the net, and then Anika just got lost up there. That was Nicolescu's ball, but she just was so determined to kind of continue a sequence of shots that she was hitting, and she just went for something and just got out of her reach. And Nicolescu serving in a huge hole, down 1-5, third set. Women's Nationals from Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois.
You're spot on, Patty. It's just, sometimes these creators, they get out of the zone a little, too creative. She was trying to make something sliding over into the Anika court. Into the Nicolescu court. And you're absolutely right. It was right to Nicolescu. She just hits it. And now we're down 5-1. So from here on out, can't afford no loose errors. See what kind of fight they have left in them. Court is not playing that bad. We've seen no skid ball. Half of the court at the net is dry. A little bit of the back court.
And the back court on this near side with Nicolescu and Anika, you can see it's dried up, and that's huge because they were the ones who really were concerned about their footing on that baseline, and that's great that the heaters have done their job and it's dry. Great lobbing. Medeiros hit that spot, caused a little confusion. Anika Nicolescu got away with that there. Medeiros just missed wide open court, Brad.
Yeah, it was a great look. She just missed it. Just comes down to execution, but take that look every time. She's going to make it 8, 9 times out of 10. That's how it goes.
48 love.
All right, one game at a time, and it's nice to get an easy game here. Put the pressure back on them to serve it out.
Let's go, Lynn.
40-15.
Let's go.
Big shout out to Ann Sheedy, APTA Executive Director. I think this might be her 13th Nationals as Executive Director of APTA. Maybe not 13, but a lot.
Nicolescu. Medeiros lead 5 games to 2, third set.
I was well short. It's not the first time I've been wrong tonight. It won't be the last time in this final. Ann Sheedy has been to 15 straight national championships.
Roxy.
Brad, how about you and I? How many national championships?
sorry.
I don't
Straight
think we should do the math
championships?
here. A lot.
Let's go, Lynn. Come
But
on.
we wouldn't miss it for anything, right, Brad? It's so fun. We love being as competitors, but how fun is this to get a front row seat, watch this game, just continue to just improve and just lights out talent in the women's game here.
Yeah, these are 4 tremendous athletes. No question. Fall. I would love to see Kira on her next go. It's hard to talk about her improving a game, but that's a perfect opportunity for a little drop shot. Hold the ball a little, boom, pull it right back. She's got him moving back, thinking she's going to do exactly what she did, a waterfall. Drop shot.
It'd be a bold move in the finals of nationals, having not hit one all day, Brad.
Well, I'm saying she's got to add it to her repertoire,
Exactly.
that's all. Oh,
there you go. No time. Let's do the drop shot leg court.
that doesn't exactly count. That ball is skidding, and that's the first one I've seen somebody dropping it to the level that you need to and hitting it through the court to make it skid just a little. Great job defending the. That's too good.
15 love.
You know, again, I feel like the court's getting a little slick over there. Anika and Nicolescu. I think Anika, particularly in that deuce court, is a little concerned, but I think she's got a dry spot right there, Brad.
She's doing just fine, and she hasn't let anything bother her so far. I don't expect it to happen now. Patty, you, however, have to go out there in those conditions and give an interview to the winners.
I can't wait.
Atta girl, that's the attitude we want to hear.
I've got my all-weather gear ready to go.
All right, 2 points for the championship now for Kiro and Medeiros. Big rip. Gotta get that for my ringtone.
Yeah, big
The
rip.
Anika Warrior yell. I love it.
Kira just got
I
caught,
just do
Brad.
love it.
She just got caught there, came in, kind of, she goes back and forth, does, you know, whether she wants a forehand or a backhand, and she got caught making that decision. Anika just brought the heat right there, and she just didn't get her paddle in position in time.
Yeah, that was a great shot.
I feel like
Kiro,
Nicolescu
look at
is
those
highly
hands.
motivated right now, Brad.
Look at those hands, though, from Kiro. She took 3 direct shots. Put them all back. It's a difference-making ability. Nicolescu wins that point most of the time right there.
Right.
Now they have to transition back, and they win it anyway, but it's just a difference. You can make those hand transitions, stay in the point.
It's all right.
30 all.
I mean, if Nicolescu and Anika find a way to come back in this match, that point, right there, gigantic.
They are Houdinis, and they certainly can.
You know, Brad, and they bring it as a team. What makes them so dominant this year is that they bring that offense, and, you know, you could just see it in Nicolescu. She was determined to take charge and just pounce, and that's what they've got to do. They've got to keep the heat on Kira Medeiros here.
Make him stand right here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Great lobs, redrive coming. That is just beautifully done from Nicolescu. perfect lob down the line. She shifts her possession over to the middle of the court. Overhit, overhead, takes the screen drive. Maduro stays back. Not a bad move. Just couldn't come up with the transition ball there. All right, break point. All right, it's time for a little scoreboard pressure. Each point for Anika Nicolescu. Hardest thing is to serve that out and win that last game.
5 games to 3, third set.
Anthony Casamano right behind us has been right there.
Right now, let's go.
An excellent addition to the commentary team here at the Chicago Nationals and for the APTA. Love having Anthony around, and he is so enthusiastic. We love that good energy.
It's great. They're steadying the ship. They started showing some fight right at kind of like that 4-1, 5-1 zone. They weren't able to get that game at 4-1, but just felt like the energy had come back to their game. The conditions improving a little. Not seen Kiro Madero's crack at all.
See, right there, you can just feel the determination from Medeiros, and she was like, okay, I'm going to lob, I'm going to hit a good lob, we're going to follow this, boom. I mean, I love Medeiros' combination of shots when she's out on the court. She's a really smart player.
2 points for the match again, and they're teeing up the returns. So they're going to do a stay back, if they're going to go in here, but expect Kiro to light this one up. Hit or miss, she's gonna tee it up. Medeiros looks like she's ready to blitz. Nope. Oh, gets her ducking, and it's triple match point. Could be a new sheriff in town. 2 years with Hanish and Zabori. We knew there was going to be a new sheriff anyway, but what a feat. Rock solid. Just putting them all in play, waiting for the big forehand. I love the way they're playing this. The other guys try to hit a winner. Oh, catches her on the short chip. All right, 1 break point, 1 match point saved.
15-40.
I like this play. I like Anika setting up on the same side as Anika so that the cross court can be defended by Nicolescu's backhand volley.
Oh, there it is!
Wow, Brad! We have new national champions here, Kiro Medeiros. What a wonderful win.
I mean, that's just incredible match for them. They did not let the conditions bother them. there were some moments in this match where things got a little hairy. Didn't play the greatest first set. They upped their level. And then the conditions came in. They got up 4-love in that second set, and there was just a kind of a strange turnabout with the conditions in the court of play. And they stood out there, kept warming up, didn't let anything bother them. And it's a second national championship for Macy Medeiros and Lynn Kiro. 2 years on the tour, sitting as our national champion right now. And it's just a heartbreaker for Roxy Anika. You know, it's a fifth final, and just an incredible talent, and kudos to them on a great tournament, and to everyone out here. I'm going to carry us through as Patty Hogan goes out to do an interview, and just a heck of a match, and all credit to those guys who just stayed through it. And this weather here in the squall, there's no feeling like it. You put all that effort in. Congratulations are coming from the crowd out there, and just a well-deserved championship for Lynn Kiro and Macy Medeiros. I'll let them soak in this moment here, and then we're going to have a little trophy presentation. And we should also keep in mind tomorrow that we got men's semifinal and final round action, so plenty more paddle to go as the men square off. But that was a heck of a final, and just incredible mental fortitude, and just real warriors out there. Kiro pretty much fearless. First national championship, moments where she could have cracked, didn't crack at all. Hit her forehand all the time, blitz, great athlete. You could see her improve her game from the beginning of the year to the end, able to chase down the hard overheads, and Medeiros just a steadying force. And people talked about her backhand, but she's playing the ad court all year, and now she's developed this huge forehand. All of it on display here. And of course, our finalists, Anika Nicolescu, just two great champions, and they'll come back at it next year. And what a great job, because who gets a fan club that comes out from all the way on the East Coast? Pretty impressive, and it just goes to show you what kind of great competitors and pros they are. So congratulations to all the competitors out there. Hugs going around to everybody. And kudos to the entire crew here, our ENET crew, John, Thomas, Patrick, just doing a great job throughout all the conditions. There you go, Sven Bursch running by. He's a happy man. His girlfriend Lynn Kiro's a national champion. She was happy for him last year. Now he's returning the favor. And he's still on the men's draw, by the way. Playing the semifinal tomorrow against Hughes and Powers. So here we go. Patty Hogan's got the mic. They got the trophy out there, and I'm turning it over to them.
Come over here. Okay.
No, not yet. You're definitely not throwing it down yet.
Oh, I'm definitely not throwing it down yet. I got the heads up sign, and now I'm going to put my head back in the mic and keep talking. So they're just getting in position right now.
They need to. I mean, I guess that'll work. All right. So can you cue Thomas to cue them? What are you talking about? Thomas, get ready to cue them.
All right, just an incredible shout out here also by Glenview. They had this amazing barbecue before. It was actually with the conditions as well. Kind of made it a Warriors tournament out here. When you play through this stuff and you're out here watching in this squall.
And Roxy Anika and Gabby Nicolescu, I can't say enough about your play throughout this weekend. You guys are amazing champions, and I just want to thank you for helping push this game to the next level. I know this is disappointing out here for you guys, but I love your cheering section, and you guys are phenomenal for our sport. Roxy, I know this is disappointing.
I wouldn't say it's disappointing. I just want to first congratulate Lynn and Macy for an amazing tournament and amazing season. And of course, it's hard to play in conditions like this, but fortunately, it's on both sides. So it was unfortunate for us today, but again, great playing. Congrats. And Gabby, you fought till the end, so thank you for playing with me. It was tough, but we'll keep grinding it out. And thank you, New Canaan Field Club. You were there all the way. Love you guys. Thank you for my husband and my family for staying home with the kids. Sorry, Lucas and Sevi, for not bringing the Golden Cup, but I'll still try. Thank you, everybody, for your cheering and good atmosphere.
What a fun tournament. You know, special thanks to the winners. It doesn't get any easier. And I'm really happy. Thank you, Patterson, for supporting me, and it's such a pleasure to play in one more final.
Roxy, you and Gabby are great champions. You will be back next year. And now our 2023 national champions have returned to the winner's circle. Macy Medeiros, 2020. And here we have Lynn Kiro, also in her second year of paddle, winning the national title. Congratulations, you guys. Macy, why don't we start with you?
Thank you, Patty. Well, I mean, like what they said, Gabby, Roxy, we always love playing you guys. Regardless if we win or lose, it's always a great match. It's great for the audience. So I'm sure we have many, many more to come. 100%. And the Cannon Field Club, you always bring the energy. Big thank you goes to Rolling Hills Country Club for supporting me to play these tournaments, and to everyone who's been coaching Lynn and I. I think we've got more coaches than players from our staff. So, exactly. So, and to my partner for giving me the best high fives I've ever received.
And Lynn, just incredible play. When you started last year on the circuit, everyone said, watch out for Lynn Kiro, lights out, and here you go. Second year, you win your first national title. Awesome play, Lynn.
I just feel like it's surreal. I feel like we have a match tomorrow. But Gabby and Roxy, good playing. It's always a battle playing you two. Always a fun match. Conditions were tough, but, you know, that's what makes this game pretty fun. I just want to say a huge shout out to my boyfriend Sven for the coaching, Bernie Skuman for the coaching, Montclair Golf Club, all the supporters, Roxydicus Golf Club, thank you so much. My parents and my brother and my nephew back in Savannah, Georgia, huge thank you goes to them. And of course, all the spectators, everyone watching all over the country, just huge thank you. And to my partner as well.
Woo! Congratulations, champs.
Thank you, guys.
I think we have a presentation coming up from Tina Convana.
Yes, we do. This is going to be a tough one. All right. So before I get to the trophy presentation, I just want to say how proud I am on behalf of the APTA to host the national championships here at Glenview. We couldn't do this tour, we couldn't have these tournaments without our national and tournament sponsors, Remedy Plus, Fusion, Viking, Wintrust, Illinois, Bone and Joint. We couldn't have this tournament without John Noble, Ben McKnight, and Jason Love, Ann and Walter Fick, of course, the CPCT, Alan Graham, and new Hall of Famer Bill O'Brien. We couldn't do this, obviously, without Glenview and the members that gave up their club for the week, and all the neighboring clubs in Chicago. So, of course, we have to thank our umpire, Rob Laboon, who's probably frozen solid somewhere. Our amazing tournament directors, Jackie Cameron, Karen Najelnik, and of course we thank our live stream, our APTA staff, Amin Kaduri and Ann Sheedy. So with that, I'd like to present the finalists and the winning medals, and of course,
I do a special thanks to my husband for watching the kids too.
Of course, of course.
Can I thank my husband for coming as well?
Sorry, one more.
Okay,
hey, Essex Fells Country Club, I see you guys.
Anybody else? I have to say, I mean, I've never seen such dedicated fans following all four of these women. We've had people, we've had people fly across the country all season. Chicago, Boston, and I know all four of you have groups here that have flown here to support you guys. So I'm so proud to present the 2023 National Championship medals and trophy. We'll start with the medals. So our finalists, congratulations, Gabby Nicolescu and Roxy Anika.
Yeah. Congratulations.
And then our champions, Macy Medeiros and Lynn Kiro.
I'm not good at this.
Oh, you knocked the hoop off.
I know.
my God.
So before we present, all right. So how about you guys get a picture and then we'll present the trophy. Get a cut. Okay. All right. So with that, I'd like to present the Women's National Championship Trophy, the APTA 2023 National Champions, Lynn Kiro and Macy Medeiros. Congratulations, ladies. All right, I think that's a wrap for the live stream from the APTA. We'll see you all back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. for the men's semifinals. Thanks, everybody. Good night.